Carmina Mora, also known as the artist. Carmina was born in a rugged coastal village of Chile, carrying a guilt from her mother that seemed to abandon the family, causing her father to blame Carmina for what transpired. But her comfort and happy place she had was when she would feed the crows that were nested by the tree near the house, and when she was painting with her younger brother Matthias. She became a caretaker of her younger brother despite being a child herself. One year, the siblings were outside painting while their father was just getting drunk in the yard. A phone rang and Carmina rushed in the house to answer, only to come outside a few seconds later and found Matthias disappeared. She asked her father, who obviously wasn't paying attention, where Matthias went, but her father didn't know. She called out his name, looking everywhere for him, until she found his jacket floating on the creek by the house. She jumped in and found him lifelessly floating on the surface. He had fallen and drowned into the river. Carmina started sobbing, holding her little brother, causing her father to see what was happening, seeing Carmina mourn the loss of her little brother and surrounded by a murder of crows. Her father snatched the body from Carmina to go bury him. Ever since the loss of her little brother, she didn't bother with making art, as she now carried a new and heavier guilt. Her father never said a word, since he knew it was on Carmina for not watching Matthias. On the morning of what would have been Matthias' birthday, Carmina stood on the railing of a bridge, convinced she had nothing left to live for. Her mother was gone, her brother was dead, and her father blamed her for everything. Several cars passed by her, none of them caring about what Carmina was about to do, as she stared at the crashing rapids of the river smashing into a giant boulder. But suddenly she saw a line of crows descend next to her, covering the railing, staring at Carmina's eyes as if trying to comfort her. At first she was confused, but thanks to the crows, she felt akin to them and decided to return home to give life another chance. Inspired by what happened, Carmina picked up the brush again and went back to painting. She made an art piece of the same bridge she was on with a black cloud of feathers and the murder of crows that saved her life. It was an experience that made way to years of transformative art Carmina would make. These artworks of hers would bring attention to other artists who found it invigorating, even getting attention of a group that shared her vision in her art. Each one displayed local, intimate tragedies on a larger scale, all while the crows followed every performance she made. This started the large-scale surrealist movement, which led her renown to grow enough to attract the VAC label. She investigated the group and it seemed to be linked to corrupted politics. Determined to expose this, she accepted their offer to have her art displayed. The art she made showed the VAC label logo as the Grim Reaper harvesting the fields of Chilean families. This controversy made a target for Carmina and her friends. That night, a gang of masked gunmen broke into the house and kidnapped all of them. Carmina wakes up to sand that blew on her face. Carmina was tied to a chair in the middle of a desert, seeing her friends lying around her. A hooded man in a dark robe approached Carmina and brought out a silver knife. He grabbed Carmina's hands and cut them both off, causing Carmina to scream in agony. Her friends woke to the sound of what was happening. The man grabbed Carmina's chin and she spat in his face. The man grunted and pried her mouth open, pulling out her tongue and chopped it off of her. Once again, she screamed in agony. The man smiled and laughed. Without your arms and your tongue, how are you able to paint and recite your poems now? Filled with rage, grief, and loss, she wanted to get her revenge on what the man did to her. She screamed the same way when she lost her brother. She looked up as she heard caws echoing through the wasteland. Then she saw the ravenous crows attack the hooded man, pecking out his flesh mercilessly, making her smile as she saw her art come to life. But that smile soon turned to rage and sorrow as the crows started attacking her friends as well for not helping her out. They were uncontrollable, and as she was about to accept the darkness of death, the fog engulfed her and dragged her into the entity's realm. Man, talk about the trauma of an artist. Her ability, Birds of Torment, actually gives her control of the crows she couldn't control before. She could summon up to 3 dire crows to launch in any direction. Any survivors that are caught in its path will have crows surround them, causing Killer Instinct to occur for 3 seconds, with the aura being shown by all players during the whole swarm until the survivor repels them or enters a locker. Carmina's perks allows her to gain a token once you hook your first survivor and when you're 60 meters away from the hook. 1 to 3 tokens block all generators for 6 to 10 seconds, and 4 tokens block all generators for 40 seconds, and the aura of an obsessed survivor is revealed to you for 6 seconds. Perform a ritual on a cleansed totem to resurrect as a rekindled totem up to 5 times. 1 totem reduces all survivors' repair speed, 2 totems reduce all survivors' healing speed, 3 totems reduces all survivors' recovery speed from being down, 4 totems reduces all survivors' gate opening speed, all of them being by 20 to 30%, and 5 totems makes them permanently blocked by the entity. And cause 4 random hooks to be Scourge hooks along with 4 tokens. Once a token is used after hooking a survivor on a Scourge hook, the generator with the most progression explodes and instantly regresses its progress, and makes survivors scream but not give away their position if they start repairing that generator. Overall, I give artists an A tier. Those Dire Crows definitely add the scare factor since you can launch them in any direction to spot anyone that's within your vicinity. It also stops them from any abilities they were doing, repairing, healing, even trying to escape with the switch. It helps you find where they are easily when they are about to escape the trial. This is why I would love to have crows as a pet bird. That, or a raven, whatever I'm able to get a hold of.